Hello, my dears. Today I bring to your attention a subject that matters especially for those that want to open a company here in Romania. We'll talk about the company's share capital. How can you use it and what happens if you want to leave a company, for example. So stay with us and you will see further all the answers for these questions. Let's see first what is share capital. Share capital represents the total contributions made by associates or shareholders in order to constitute and run a business here in Romania. These kind of contributions can be done in multiple forms. First of all, and the most known, is cash contributions. Basically, if you want to open a company, you just put the money from your personal account to the company's account, saying that that is the share capital. Or if you want, you can make it also in cash, but I would recommend it to be from by bank account. Also can be non-cash contributions. Basically, you can add as social capital building a land or something else, or any other type of contributions, but of course these are not recognized as social capital. Basically, the work that you do or the know-how that you have cannot be considered social capital. Good. Now that you found out about the social capital, let's see what are the limits for this. What is the minimum and what is the maximum? Because we have at least a minimum for this share capital. Again, this depends on the type of the company. For example, if you have a limited liability company, basically an SRL, the minimum share capital that is required is 1 RON. Basically means 0.25 euro. If, on the other hand, we have a joint stock company, SA, the minimum share capital that you need to put in there is 90,000 RON, basically around 20,000 euro. Indeed, you have 1 RON on a limited liability company, but I would not recommend you to go on this amount because it's quite unusual to have 1 RON. Before we had 200 RON, which means 40 euro. It's most advisable to have this amount because basically the share capital represents the image of your company in front of the investors. So nobody would want to have a company that is with 1 RON as share capital. And if you ask yourself, is there a maximum? No, there is no maximum in either type of company. So you can put there whatever you want. Okay, now you put the share capital there, but should you let it in there? No. The share capital doesn't need to stay untouched in the bank account of your company. It can be used in multiple ways. First of all, financing all the operations that you have on the company. Acquisitions, funds for immediate use, and so on. And also for collateral debts. If you want to pay something as a supplier and any other type of debt, also it can be used. How you cannot use it? As I just said, not in your own purpose, not to pay dividends. This is not allowed. Let's see now what happens if you want to leave a company. What happens to that share capital that you put first? So, if a shareholder wants to exit, there are a few key points that he needs to know and be really attentive to this. First of all the shareholders are entitled to reclaim their contribution to the social capital they made in the beginning. How can they reclaim this? Either in cash, either in goods, depending on how they agree when exit. Secondly, the exit procedure. You must be really attentive that all the papers are done correctly and in accordance with what you established with your partners. And most important of all these papers should be submitted to the trade register here in Romania. And thirdly, there is an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how do you see it. This shareholder has a limit liability protection. Basically, if the company from which you want to exit has debts, you can answer only with the amount of the share capital, not with the entire all the goods that you have as individual. So basically, you are protected by this share capital and you answer in the limit of the share capital that you put in that company. Now, in the end, I want to emphasize this, that the share capital represents a vital role in a company's life. If you don't have share capital, you don't exist, first of all. So you need to look really careful on the Constitutive Act to see how much share capital you have in there. You need to put it entirely in the company, usually before starting any other operations. And after that, you are protected, let's say, by this share capital. So whether you are starting a business and using share capital for starting, either you are planning to exit from a company, I believe that these aspects that I already mentioned in this video might help you a little bit. That's all about the share capital. If you like the video, please give a big like. Also, subscribe to our channel. And let's see in the comments if you have any questions. Please put them in there because I will answer to all of them. Thank you very much again.